So in this video, I want to talk about the difference between definite and indefinite integrals. The definite integral looks like this. It has the long S symbol for integrals. It has a lower limit and an upper limit, a function, and then a dx. So this is called the definite integral, and it means the signed area from x equals a to x equals b between the curve y equals f of x and the x-axis. Here's an example of what that could look like. Here's the graph of f of x equals 1 minus x squared. And if I had the definite integral from 0 to 1 of 1 minus x squared dx, that would correspond to this shaded blue region that I have here between the curve and the x-axis. It will be possible to estimate this answer from a graph. For instance, if you look at this orange square, it has an area of 1 because it has a width of 1 and a height of 1. And this shaded area looks like it takes up a little bit more than half of this square. The 0.55 or 0.6 might be a reasonable estimate. Even though we can't get the exact answer, we can still get a good estimate looking at the graph. Now, what is it if I have the same exact setup, but now I don't have numbers at the top and bottom of the integral symbol? I don't have limits of integration. And this is called an indefinite integral. It means something totally different. What this indefinite integral means is what is the function a of x whose derivative is f of x? In Calculus 1, you learned derivative rules, and you might have learned antiderivative rules as well. But in Calculus 2, we're primarily going to be working with antiderivative rules, aka indefinite integrals. So we'll be spending time learning some rules like the indefinite integral of x to the k is 1 over k plus 1 times x to the k plus 1, as long as k is not equal to -1. And eventually, by the end of the class, our hope is that you know these rules completely by heart. But for right now, what we want to emphasize is the difference between the two types of very similar looking things that you could see. The difference between the definite integral, which has upper and lower limits of integration and gives a number as the final answer, and the indefinite integral, which will give an antiderivative, which is a type of function. Now, you may be wondering, why in the world would anyone use this same symbol for two different things? So why is the same symbol used for two very different things? And the answer is, even though these two things are different, it turns out they're highly related. So when we get to the fundamental theorem of calculus, it may make a bit more sense. For right now, just know that this is not as confusing or as random as it may look at first. These two different things are very related. So please know that they are different and know the difference between them. Be looking forward to the fact that we'll explore the relationship between them very soon.